Hey everyone, welcome to round 4 of the ETS World Championships. I am playing against Mouche, who is on a Fire, Shadow, Justice, mid-rangey kind of deck. It's got a lot of lifesteal though, which I'm a little bit afraid of. This hand is not very fast. We lost the die roll, but our hand looks quite good. I guess we can't play the Initiate on turn 1, which could be slightly problematic. But we'll see. We'll see. If we, I'm not going to mulligan this hand down to 6. My opponent's deck does look like it lines up fairly well against us, but of course they could always stumble being a 3-color deck and all. We don't have a ton of great answers to things like Zuberi, so we may be in a bit of a bind if that card sticks. I think it's better to go Grendon Drone first on turn 1. And then on turn 2, we can play Crest Depleted plus an Initiate, which still allows us to get the Xenon Obelisk on time. He's more than likely going to take the Trailmaker, I think. That's a card that makes sense to play here on turn 2. It's higher impact, obviously, than the Initiate. But he doesn't know that we have the depleted power for the Initiate. I guess you could logically assume that since I didn't play the Initiate on turn 1, that I don't have the undepleted time source, which was a fair assumption. I will take that. It's not an undepleted source, but it's fine. I'm not going to hit my Xenon Obelisk right on time anyway. Luckily, this opponent's deck does not have any sweeper effects, so things like Harsh Rule are not applicable. They just have a lot of individual threats that we need to fight through. Which seems very, very reasonable. We're just going to play the Acolyte, grab our Time Sigil, attack with both here. Looks like my opponent has a Torch. They had a pause there, or possibly Annihilate. Either way, I think I'm okay with it. If there's a Vara here, we're in a bit of trouble. Vicious Highwayman, similar concept. We're in a bit of trouble. I can deal with that with the Torch, so I'm not that concerned. I think I just Assembly Line Torch. If they have a second Highwayman, we kind of look a little bit silly having this Obelisk still in our hand, but it didn't make sense to play Obelisk on that board. It's possible I could have earlier torched that to deny the Warcry, but I think we were still okay. I think it may be correct to just double Trailmaker so that I'm threatening Heart of the Vault next turn. Or just, if they kill one, Xenon Obelisk now has more things that pumps, and I have a bit more mana. I'm not attacking in with Obelisk this turn, and if he wants to attack with Vara to gain 3, I think I'm okay with that. Opponent is stuck on 4 mana, which is kind of bad news for us because almost all of their deck cost 4 mana or less. That means they've got a lot of action in hand. But there are 3 Razans in the list, which are one of their better higher cost cards. I think we just let these guys through since obviously we're playing Heart of the Vault or Xenon Obelisk next turn. Torch and a Trailmaker makes sense. Looks like just Obelisk it is. And then can we actually just race this? I think it's possible, especially with another Obelisk next turn. We're hitting for them for 11, they're hitting us for 6 on the backswing. We're gonna hit for 15 next turn with another Obelisk. Seems like a reasonable racing scenario. Do have to be wary of Boar out of the market for him, so I maybe don't want to play the second Obelisk if I can play the Heart of the Vault instead. That may be a better line of play to play around a merchant into boar. Another Vara, okay. I'll sack the Grenadin. Now I'm really hoping for a Heart of the Vault, so I can at least block on the backswing here. Another assembly line, not so much. There's nothing on the market I really want. In terms of mana efficiency, I should just play the Xenon Obelisk, I believe. But that might not be what I'm actually playing towards. Because if I draw another power, I'm just playing Heart of the Vault. So I think it's assembly line. Now I just need to... We can like double block Avara, which is pretty good with 2/2s. Double block any of his guys with 2/2s. And then, assuming this leads to a stalemate where they're just going to pass, then we have a bit more opportunity to play the next Xenon Obelisk. Or Ixtun Merchant for Rally is another line that is reasonable. Five Whirling Duo. I think I'm fine to just overblock this guy. Trades for 2 guys. In case there's a torch, I don't want to block with the bare minimum. And maybe like a Dark Return on it next turn or something, but now we've got the time to pass the Obelisk. Sure. I'm actually kind of okay with that because it gets me 1 card closer, and we still have the Obelisk into a Grenadin Drone. I'm now kind of all in, and if a boar hits me, then it's real bad. But we got to win before that. So if we draw power, we're probably just going to Merchant Rally. Something like that. So each one would be 5 with a Rally. So you could probably afford to just block 1. 1, 2, 3. Ugh, there's the boar. Well, that gets rid of one of them unless he has a power. God, I just hope there's no on-top power here. And if so, then we're right back to where we started, and we still have an Obelisk. And we still have a live draw to Heart of the Vault. All in all, not a terrible spot. The market also has Jawbone Greatsword, Statuary Maiden, Vicious Highwayman, and Rizan. Choosing to delay a turn. So it looks like this is our last opportunity to get value with this. It's unfortunate because we don't have the ability to cast Rally just yet. This is an untapped power. We definitely just A-space Rally. I don't even want to cast the Merchant. Ugh. This is rough. We're in really bad shape here since he did have the Merchant. Ugh, Vanquish into double. I think that kills us. Yeah. All in on this Xenon Obelisk strategy, but the boar. If he didn't have a Merchant, I think we win, but yeah, we're just dead. Okay. So 0-1, but that's alright. We lost the die roll, so it's I mean, I won't say it's expected, but it's unfortunate. Hey, another Twitch drop. Fun. All right, so since there is forced play draw here, if I am not going first in this game, we'll just concede and get to the next game. Until we're going to just keep re-challenging until I am going first. Looks like I am not. Try again. Sorry, bear with me as we get through these until I am the first player, since I did lose the first game. You know, it's a 50-50 each time, presumably. But when I was playing Almost earlier, we had to go through 3 times and it still wouldn't work. 4th time was the charm in that series, but... Alright, looks like we're in the same scenario. Okay. Please implement a way for us to choose who is going first in friendly challenges. Would save us quite a bit of time. Finally. Okay, sweet. So on to game 2. This hand is quite reasonable. We've got an answer to a Whirling Duo or a Highwayman, and we have a proactive start, so I'll keep. Just going to go Scout, probably put any power to the bottom, leave anything else on top. Power to the bottom, we don't really need that. I'll go Seat Teacher, hopefully Banner Merchant, and if we've drawn a couple power in the meantime, then we can throw some of that power out. You see there's 1 power. Come on, big money, no torch. Or Annihilate. Probably an Annihilate. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I think I'm fine throwing away this Time Sigil. I think I grab a Jawbone Greatsword. I think it's quite good in this matchup. Being able to clear out their mid-range threats and also just being a threat in and of itself. Their own Merchant. Potentially grabbing Boar again, or perhaps Statuary Maiden or Highwayman. I think we just play Yushkov and pass. And then next turn we've got the Torch Greatsword combo. As long as Yushkov is still alive, we can't really be hit by an opponent's Whirling Duo, but now that it's slayed, that makes it a little less likely, I suppose. Another Merchant. I don't necessarily want to use that just yet. I think I just, you know, maybe I do. Throw the Banner out for an Obliterate. I'm a touch weak to Vara, but he needs exactly an untapped Shadow Source, which he only has 2 of. I guess the banners as well. I think we do it. I think we go down on power here. It may backfire, but I think it's a worthy risk to take here. It's a depleted, not Shadow Source, so all around I like that. Hopefully he just holds back and wants to block and trade, which would be good because then I can trigger Tribute and get the sword out there on an empty board. Deep in the tank on whether to keep the card on top of the deck. They do decide to keep it on top, which is never ideal. I think I will torch one of these just for mana efficiency's sake. Now they probably have Boar and a Highwayman. Well, maybe not a Highwayman if they don't have the mana for it. Come on, block. Yes, sweet. Okay, so now at least we get the Great Sword and get to smack him for 5. I could have a charge unit and kill the Great Sword, but then that's still okay because then I can attack back for my 3. And it needs to be exactly Whirling Duo at this point. I feel like a Whirling Duo would have already come out by now. It'd be such a straightforward play. If it's a... can't even be a Vara. I was about to say, if it's a Vara, I have a tough choice to make. It could be Zuberi. Another merchant. Okay. Probably grabbing board this time, if you didn't already grab it the first 2 times. And use it to kill the greatsword. Not even. Okay. You have a torch. Seems to be the case. Use this grab fire. Now I'm threatening to play Brand without fear next turn. I'm not going to sacrifice with him. That's putting too many eggs in one basket. And already an 8 cost Berserk, or an 8 attack Berserk is pretty close to lethal. Alright. It's fine. I can still obliterate this. It's pretty low. Heart of the Vault on top. Well, I guess I just obliterate here. Attack them down to 8. And now they're top decking, and we've got at least some sort of a hand. That Razan was quite good. That might be very good, actually. If we don't draw power. Brand himself represents essentially lethal. 16, 17, 18 damage. I guess the Razan is going to proc twice, so it won't quite be lethal. I need an untap power, just more than anything. Maybe if we do a draw on untap power, it's better to play the Heart of the Vault first, since Brand is not lethal on the attack. The 4th merchant, okay. Seems legit. He probably grabbed a Highwayman there. So that means if he's got a Highwayman, I want to play Brand first. And then he plays Highwayman and then can Heart of the Vault to kill it off. You just had another great nice top deck. Another Razan. So we're dead, right? Unless we top deck a Torch with this Heart of the Vault. It's unreal. No. That's unreal. He had another one of those. Like, clearly his hand was now Vicious Highwayman and had to top deck the Razan to get there. Otherwise, if he top deck anything but a Razan, I think we win that game. Whatever. 0-2. Time for the reverse sweep. Nope. I need to go first. It's going to be tough to try to win 2 games when I'm not going first, but let alone the first one where I do go first. But gotta start somewhere. Alright, sweet. This hand has an early curve, but then nothing. So we can redraw. I can't even actually cast that on turn 2, now that I looked at it a bit more. This hand's not great. It really isn't. But I don't think a 6 would be any better. I can at least play with this hand, and I can hopefully scout into some untapped power. No, thank you. Unfortunate. Do not need that. So I guess on turn 3 here, I guess I only have one option, right? It's Teacher of Humility plus Praxis Banner. Not that anything else I think would have been a good idea. Sure. Not taking the Zubri. I feel like that would have been really strong if it had another red, so maybe it took a power over it. especially when you start off with Granite Waystone into Seek Power. It's possible he just kept a 2-land in hand, or took another Quarry. Yeah, he's definitely short on power. Definitely short on power, which means he's high on action. He's got a lot of strong cards in there, but hopefully no power. And then, well, with any luck, we can ride that no power to, well, I'm not going to say a victory, but an early game advantage, which hopefully we can snowball into a victory. Taking a long time to decide on this Quarry. I think if it was a power versus a non-power, you just take the power right away. Just Dark Return versus something else. Couldn't really speculate what that is. It's like Seek Power. So he's not that short on power. Hopefully no torches coming. Yep, of course it always is. Oh, I guess I can assembly line. I'm just gonna like double assembly line rally. Doesn't have double shadow for Avara just yet. Shakedown. All right. I got wealth of pickings here. Presumably you want to take the rally, right? Because that seems to be my win condition, considering I have one assembly line and you have another one coming. And if you don't have the influence to cast Vicious Highwayman anytime soon, to kind of stem the bleeding here, I think rally makes a lot of sense to take. Our market is fine to go grab another rally. But I think I'm going to play assembly line if he lets me. Takes the Merchant, which probably would have been used to grab another rally if you take the first rally, so I don't know exactly how I feel about that one. I guess it's to stop me from getting the Obliterate for Avara that he's about to cast next turn. That makes logical sense. Did I just play 4 Granadins? I think so, because that plays around Vara pretty well. Or maybe Yushkov does as well. I think Yushkov actually does just as well. He had to stop. It's possible it's like an Annihilate or a Torch. I'd be really afraid of playing Yushkov and then he instantly annihilates it. But I think this assembly line into Grenadin makes some sense. To play it like he plays Var and then I sack a guy. And then I can attack with everybody. And if he blocks, okay, it was a Torch. Darn it. Well, since if it was a Torch, I wish I'd played the Yushkov now. Sure. I mean, I can still attack and torch the Vara. So it's like not the end of the world here. Still kill her off. I want to let this attack go through first, because if I torch before damage and then he torches the Grenadin, I just wasted my torch. And he still kills my Grenadin. So now I get to play Yushkov and hopefully it doesn't have an Annihilate now. We're just trying to set up a rally for the win. I think he just top decked the Shadow Influence too last turn. Because otherwise he wouldn't have Seek Powered for Shadow on mana 3 to make it his 4th power. I keep using mana and power interchangeably, sorry. Luckily his guy's underplayed Exhausted, so if he cannot kill Yushkov right away, You can't really develop any blockers, and I can A-space rally, and then hopefully that is good enough. Hopefully. Yeah. I always have the Annihilate. Dark Return the Vara. Wonderful. Alright, looks like this is our last best chance to cash in a rally. We just have to hope for some sort of AoE after this. Or not AoE, some sort of a burn spell. Obliterate. It's not an obliterate. Another Vara. Is that it? Yeah, I just have all power. Alright, so unfortunate, got 0-3'd. That's alright. I think this is probably our worst matchup by far. Like, it just has way too many lifesteal guys. And I mean, he had all the removal every single time, all the torches and annihilates to stop me. So I'm not really that upset. But hopefully we can, you know, win one of the next couple rounds to get into day 2.